Hello, audience, and welcome to another edition of Have You Seen It? I am Denise, and my co-host Charles is not with me this evening, but never fear, he will be back with us next month. So without further ado, I am going to get into this review. And the movie that I saw recently at the theaters, by the way, is the movie titled Father Stu. It stars Mark Wahlberg, Jackie Weaver, Mel Gibson, and Teresa Ruiz. And it's a movie that follows the life of Father Stuart Long, who was a boxer turned priest. And when the movie starts, Mark Wahlberg's character, he plays Father Stu, he is still, in his boxing career, his amateur career, but it's not really going all that well. And, an injury kind of puts, the nail in the coffin for him, so to speak. And he's got to find something else to do. So he decides that he's going to be an actor, and he's going to move to California. And he goes to California, and he's got some odd jobs and doing some acting in terms of commercials and so on, so forth and so on. So he's just trying to make ends meet. And he is working in a supermarket, and this beautiful woman comes in, and he's, head over heels, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I got to get with her. Who is she? And he finds out that she's a Sunday school teacher at the local church in the neighborhood. And so he finds out, that she, is not only a Sunday school teacher, but she's a member, and he wants to get with her so bad that he joins the church, and he pursues her. And in the beginning, she's not really feeling him. She's not impressed with any of his charm or his, crafty ways. But a relationship does flourish because she sees that he is committed to being a member of this church and doing what he needs to do to get with her. Well, he has a motorcycle accident, a really horrible motorcycle accident, and during his recovery and his rehab, he really has seen the light, if you will, and realizes that, before this accident, my life was just jacked up. I was all over the place. I had really no future. I have been given a second chance, and I'm not going to squander it. And so he decides that he wants to become a priest. Now, his parents, played by Jackie Weaver and Mel Gibson, are, they're kind of like, yeah, is this really what you want to do? You're really talking nonsense. But he's like, no, this is what I want to do, and I think I want to pursue this and make this my life's work. So he does just that. And his transformation is really interesting and inspiring to watch. And during his journey of becoming a priest, he becomes ill. And his illness, once he goes to the doctor and finds out, what's wrong with me, my legs are giving out and my muscles are kind of weak, what's going on? And it turns out that he's got a disease that's very similar and mimics ALS. And so it does not deter him from his journey into the priesthood, but it motivates him to push even further, because what he is doing is not only an act of redemption for himself, but for other people, and other people see that in him. And the parts of the movie that really tugged at my heart were watching this illness take over his body, but he still was motivated and inspired and willing to do the work necessary to become a priest and help other people. And throughout the movie, you see Mel Gibson, who is like the worst father ever. An alcoholic. The whole family is pretty much dysfunctional because Father Stu's brother died many years ago. So everybody in the family's kind of dealt with that grief differently. But transformation does occur in not only him, his dad, and his mom, and it's beautiful to watch. So if you want to see something uplifting and inspiring, check out Father Stu at theaters near you. You will not be disappointed. And with that being said, friends, I'm going to move on to my Nailed It. My Nailed It this week is Estelle Parsons from the movie Bonnie and Clyde. You talk about somebody who's irritating. Her voice alone and the crying and squealing and screaming that she did in that movie because she was a scared, reluctant participant in the Barrow Gang and all of their shenanigans. She was the comic relief in that movie. So Estelle Parsons is my Nailed It for this week. All right, folks, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like button. And remember, we are available on every podcast platform in the universe. Just type in, "Have you seen it?" with Charles and Denise, and there we will be. And while you're listening to that podcast, please give us that generous 5-star rating. Until next week, next month, when my co-host returns, enjoy. Go to the movies. Check these out. Check this movie out, I should say. And I'm out. Bye-bye.